All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of Bear's Guide 205. Today, we are talking about preserving languages. Now, this video may end up a little bit long, it may end up a little bit short, but I gotta tell you, very important concept to understand, especially when we're talking about people's culture. So let's dive right in. So, first, language extinction. The world has about 7,000 current languages, and half of them are facing extinction. And they all take places in locations that have been colonized. Look, colonization again. 80% of today's world population only speaks about 5% of the world's languages. And over half of the world's languages exist in Papua New Guinea, India, and the rainforest. It's insane to think about how we have all of these languages that exist throughout the whole world, but we really only utilize a very small amount of them. And hotspots for this language extinction, these native areas that were colonized, where we're seeing these languages disappear, is in the Amazon, in Australia, India, Papua New Guinea, and Siberia. But we do see them legitimately all throughout the world. And they are all a result of colonization, because when colonization happened, we forced people to speak a different language. And I say we as human beings, obviously. So where in the world is language extinction happening? If you look at the hotspots on the map, you see that this problem affects MDCs, LDCs, and every country in between. You have to understand that this isn't an LDC problem or an MDC problem. This is an issue that we are seeing all throughout the world. We see it in North America, Latin America, Australia, Sub-Saharan Africa, Southeast Asia, and parts of East Europe. Remember, because Russia is Eastern Europe, even though that's technically Asia. I know, we're very upset, but we'll move on. So, needless to say, language extinction is happening all around the world. So, why do languages go extinct? Well, we talked kind of about this when we were talking about culture. People assimilate to new cultures. People acculturate and switch between cultures. When you're constantly code switching and maybe not utilizing that language, it's going to disappear. And finally, cultural imperialism. One culture dominates over another. Because look, let's be real. When you're in this small culture in this world far away and your language is spoken by a couple thousand people, are you going to speak that language and live that life? Or are you going to migrate to an urban area, learn the major language of English or Spanish, and start making money and be part of this world that exists? You know what I mean? And that consumerism, this modern world, this developed world is very tempting, right? So people will drop that original language and move towards this, globalized cultural imperialism language, whatever is dominating that area. So why should we preserve language? Like, why are we making a big deal out of it? So let's break it down. Well, language is a reflection of culture, and losing language can really gut culture and take away from a person's identity. The fact is that these unique languages draw in tourism for these places, and tourism equals more money. Language can be a reflection of culture and a symbol of pride for people, and it keeps people happy. And probably most importantly is the local knowledge that exists in that language. Guys, languages are a reflection of the things that we interact with daily. And the fact is, some of these native groups of people have been there for thousands and thousands of years. And inside their language, they might have knowledge to the area, to medicines we don't understand, to plants, to animals, all these things that are locked away in their language that we have to try and understand. So how do we save language? The most important way is to teach it. Guys, languages don't disappear because people stop speaking them. Languages disappear because we don't pass it on, right? Yes, elders will die, and those language speakers will disappear. But if they never pass it on successfully to someone else, then that will never carry on. So that's the number one way to teach it. Now, it doesn't even have to be in schools either, right? It can be from community leaders. It can be families using that language at home and making sure to preserve their cultural identity along with their knowledge of their culture or of their language. How else can we save a language? Well, the government can support it. The government can implement policies to use that language. They can make official languages, and we'll go into what official languages are. They can put it on street signs like you see here, or you just have to make it useful, right? That's the biggest thing with language. If it's not useful, people aren't going to use it. How else can we save language? Well, let's put it in the culture itself. Let's put it into entertainment. Let's put it into movies. Let's put it into books. Let's put it into TV and radio. Let's change Western cartoons to have these voices in these languages. So many places have put an effort to save, these local minority languages in the face of cultural imperialism, in the face of globalization, right? Let's make official languages. Let's put documents for the government in these languages. Let's put up signs. Let's produce TV shows. Let's put it in newspapers. If we make it useful, then people will learn it, right? That's how we keep it alive. And the reason we want to keep it alive is because there's potential money to be made. It's a source of pride for people, and there could be knowledge in it that we could use as a global community. Now, some languages have been saved. Welsh and Gaelic in the UK, Breton in France, and Hebrew, which is the language you're seeing here in Israel. They actually have it as one of their official languages, and their government officials speak it. So now it's been saved. So what do you need to know today? What I thought would be a long video ended up coming in at under 6 minutes, so that's fantastic. Understand where language extinction is currently happening and why it's currently happening. Right? Know why languages are going extinct, whether it be because of assimilation, acculturation, pop culture imperialism, globalization, the effects of colonization, whatever it may be. Understand how each of these things work and why these languages are going extinct. And then finally, understand all the ways that languages can be saved. Because at the end of the day, the way to save languages is make it useful. So then understand how countries make it useful. So, as always, that was easy. That was really straightforward. As always, this is Bear's Guide to a 5. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell icon when you have new videos are released and you can stay up to date. As always, this is it. We'll see you next time.